Well, welcome to Retro&Modern, where we play Trouble Brothers
with electronics.
Today we have this box. Well, it's a bag. There's a box inside it. I can feel it.
It's a boxy bag.
This item costs us £3 all in because it's free postage, and the description on eBay was 40. Nothing else. Let's just get rid of the bag. It's a nice little box. I mean, they've sent this with a large letter.
Yeah.
I don't know what the common large letter quantities are.
No.
But considering we paid a grand total of £3,
Yeah.
there can't be a lot of profit. Or
Unless they're picking everything up for free.
yeah. But even then, they sent more on postage. In, get rid of that. Get rid of that little power. This is what we got.
It's an Apple TV with color upside down.
Yeah, it's an Apple TV.
When you turn it over, I'll do.
Yeah, that won't give away anything.
No.
I'll just double check. That side of the time, unfortunately, means we've got lots of labels to clear off.
Yeah. It's an Apple TV third
I don't
generation.
actually have any label on over.
No, we have IPA though. Yeah, so it's a third generation Apple TV. Now, I know the first thing we wanted to do was have a look at the old HDMI port. So let me just zoom us on down.
Because we want to make sure they haven't.
And then we
Because it just says 40, it's not really
let's see if we can see anything in there.
very good for us to know what it looks
Scratched.
scratched. Yeah, they've missed.
Yeah, that's the meter just saying, I've been on for too long.
Haven't been used yet.
Yeah.
I can't see any damage
No.
other than the scratches, obviously, which we ignore.
Have a look, see if we can.
Yeah, the pins will look good.
Yeah, there's nothing obvious in terms of HDMI port. Well, I suppose the first thing to do then will be to turn it on and see if it works.
Yeah.
So let's just.
These are labels the same? Yeah, so all the labels are identical.
There you go, she's focused. Yeah.
So they decided, oh no, what we do, we'll sticker bomb it.
Yeah.
And also, if you look, it looks like they did a fourth one in the middle and took that one off.
Yes.
Right, so do we have a power lead?
I do. It's currently powering my MacBook. And the other one's powering the camera.
Well, that's not a lead that's ready then.
Well, it's ready enough. My MacBook will last a few minutes.
Well, let's hope that it's going to take us less than a few minutes to get this tested then.
Yes, my MacBook needs a new battery, but.
So we do the Trouble Brothers electrical repairs.
I mean, chuckle brothers with
You've not even.
leads.
Right, shall I plug this in and see if it goes bang in my
Not
hand?
just yet. Let's plug the HDMI in, just in case anything comes up, and then they will see it too.
Right, so you can lock that up for display then, can you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you want to get that ready before I plug
It's
it in.
already ready.
Right, okay. No, so I'll go bang away.
I will need to have a look at the front and see if we have any lights.
Something just boomed.
My computer, but that's not because of that. We're
Right.
in no output.
There's a light on the front here somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, front left corner. It's not coming on. So
So there's nothing happening.
it's just
It's very, very scratched,
yeah. It's
but we don't care. We're not actually going to be selling this
No,
to anyone, so
this is more just so we can have a look. Right. So there seems to be a no power.
yeah. And there's no. So this is the first time I actually played one of these. There's no actual power button either, is there?
No, it automatically
Yeah.
goes on. And plugged in.
Well,
Well,
this one
should do.
doesn't. Just to see if there's any. There's a nice little crack from the power supply. Okay.
But that's it. Right, let me just get this back down to the old MacBook.
Do you perchance have a
in the toolkit, which is there. Not sponsored, it was a cheapie on Amazon. But it works alright.
That's the thing I'm after. Thingamajig. Because these, I think you said something about you just pop them open or something.
Yeah, the bottom should pop open.
Where's the being seen? Is it where it changes colour?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
I can't find a way into this one. I don't want to damage it.
Well,
Really scratched. I think I'm partially in. I can't get it in enough. Ah, now I'm in. But not very well. I'll take it there are clips here somewhere.
yes. You have to pry the bottom up.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Oh, blimey. Alright, to you.
To me.
To you. I can get it in one bit, but I just couldn't feel the clip.
Right.
I wish I knew where they were exactly. It'd be a bit easier to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You can definitely get in that bit.
Let's just hope there's no a nice little
There we go.
charger sat there waiting for you to touch it.
Metal vital.
Well, then it'd turn to a chuckle brother, wouldn't it? Because there'd only be one of us left.
Yeah. They are very, very large clips. That's what I will say.
So it's very hard to actually service these without adding scratches.
Oh yeah. I don't think they were meant for service. I think they were.
Well, Apple weren't exactly very friendly to the right to repair, were they really?
They haven't been for a long time. We are getting there though. She is coming.
Oh, right, here comes Christmas.
There we go. We are in. Right, let me just get this focused on.
Not a great deal in it, luckily.
I'll tell you what, actually, let's get ourselves a bit of a closer look so we can have a look.
Right, hang on. Oh, that basic piece of rubbish. I'll slide that up for you. How's that?
Go. So yeah, not a great deal. Well, you have your main board here, and this will be the power supply.
It's quite a nice little small power supply.
It is.
Okay, so how'd you get the power supply out?
I think you have to take the cover off, and then there's screws underneath the cover.
Right, so I'm going to go in where the caps are.
Yeah.
Are you sure that cover doesn't seem to lift?
But I know there's screws underneath, I believe.
That cover seems to be insistent on staying there.
It's probably stuck down. I think it's got thermal pads on it, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I hate things like this. There's no easy way of getting that thing out. So I was worried it's going to pull the board about.
No, it shouldn't do. It'll be the thermal pads that are sticking that down. To my knowledge, anyway.
No, the board's lifting. That's it. Yeah, the actual board's lifting up with it.
Don't take my capture off, we don't need that.
Oh, blimey, governor. That doesn't wrap all the way around to the underside as well, does it?
Not done well. Tell you what, if you look at that, I will have a look at the old iFixer guide.
Yeah, well, it's kind of really stupidly simple.
Okay, so they seem to recommend taking the logic board out first,
Okay.
which you undo some screws and this cable.
Okay. Now's the cable done. It's typical. The day we want to do some recording, there's someone out there doing some weird work.
Yes, it does actually look like they've encased it. The power supply.
Right, so that's now unplugged.
You need to undo the screws.
Right, so I need
It will be a
something like that.
there's a metal heatsink under. I reckon it's I think this guy's just not very complete. Well, actually, we're already missing the heatsink.
What do you think?
There's supposed to be another heatsink of a big black bit. So someone probably has been inside this before.
Well, that's not doing it.
No, I reckon that they look like torque sticks to me. In fact, they are. So I wouldn't use a Phillips. Probably be about a T10 maybe. Which is on the other side, I believe.
They're not numbered. Want a number.
That one. To be precise.
Put it in.
You.
To me.
I'll just zoom us out a little because we're kind of missing most of the shot. And get ourselves focused again.
Oh, they're magnetic.
There we go.
Yep, use the old lid we took off. Someone did that one a bit tight.
Now, best case scenario would be this is a power supply issue.
Right.
If it's a power supply issue, and if we can't fix the power supply, we can still test that it works.
I wouldn't want to muck around with the power supply anyway, to be honest.
No.
Four screws.
Looks like a yes, and then it should come out. Bear in mind the front will have to fall away from the board to the back.
Really? Yeah, it's not that simple.
It's definitely this side has to come up though.
We're back.
We managed to get into it.
Yes.
Camera died, so we lost a little bit of footage. So we're keeping an eye on it a bit more closely.
Basically, what we had to peel the glue off. This board's actually partially potted, stuck down on the main bit. Also, its whole back bit was stuck down, so it's very tricky to get off. That I'm going to move out of the way because they're not really working on that at the moment. So the bit we're interested in is this, isn't it?
Yes. Let's zoom ourselves in.
This is our power supply.
Get that nicely in view. Let me just focus us in. There we go.
Right. So it's very, very, very small. And you can see by my hands. You can see this thing is absolutely minute, really. Considering it's a power supply, taking the mains in. But what we can see on it, we did notice whilst we was off.
Can't see that bit.
I'll bring that in. This is obviously the connector that goes to the main board. there's what 3, 6, 8 pins on it.
Looks like it.
I've got 3 and 3 command, 3 lives, 3 grounds.
Yeah.
And then a sense and whatnot.
Maybe it's an enable.
Enable, whatever, yeah. So what we were thinking is we test this first, see there's an output.
Yes.
If there's not, link into those 2 points without this board, plug the plug in,
And
then we'll inject voltage, the correct voltage in. If we then get usage, we get the light come on and it kicks in, we know it's the board,
Yes.
the power board. If not, then we know we've got something wrong on the main board that's going to be a bit more tricky to diagnose.
Yes.
So, if I flip this over, I don't know how it's going. I'll get some
From what we can
pointing
see,
device. Yeah. There's a couple of pins here. There's one there, and one there.
yes.
And we believe, and then there's a couple of pins just to the left of that,
Yes.
which are the
enable.
enable on that. We believe it's positive ground
Yes.
in that way. And the thing on that is that the ground would be in between the positive and the data that's used for the.
Also, we have seen someone that's
concern
worked on one of these power supplies, and they link to those exact pins.
Yeah. But obviously you had a red and a green clip, but you can only assume because we couldn't see the other end what was plugged in where. So if we get the meter up and running.
Yeah, let me enable that. And then let's turn this on.
I'm going to need
sort the power out.
sort the power out. Now, please don't try this at home. We are trained monkeys.
We are trained idiots. I can unplug it from here. There you go. Good stuff.
I'm going to. Oh, well, I was going to do it, plug it in once it's live, but I won't bother. No, that's in.
This isn't linked yet.
Right, what I do need is, can I get you to lift your meter up?
Give me a sec. I'm trying to link it. Let's just reboot it. There we go. We've linked.
Right, and now you can put that down on top of the cable. I'll tell you why. It's so heavy, it's pulling it down, it's moving the board.
Yes.
So that's now relatively safe.
Let's plug it in. You ready?
Yep.
Plugging in.
Bang.
Now we are in.
Right, so you should see an overlay on your screen of
What the meter sees.
what the meter sees. So going by what we said, ground live.
3.4.
We've got 3.4 volts.
So the power supply seems to work.
The power supply seems to work. That's a shame.
Yes. That means it's not going to be an easy fix.
It means that side's good. This side's bad. And I can't bring it fully in because that's still plugged in.
That is
I'll
unplugged.
unplug it.
Be careful because there will be. It'll still hold a charge.
Yep, well, that's out the way. Now I should bring this board back in so the fault's on here.
Yes. Let's just get our focus sorted.
That's a shame.
So now we know where the positive negative on that connector now are.
Roughly, yeah.
Well, we do.
But no, as in we've got to work out where that plugs in. When it's going to be like the first 3 pins is positive,
No.
and the
It goes in this side.
as long as it's that if it's that way up,
It'll
positive's
be-
over there. If it's the other way up,
It normally sits there, doesn't it? Sits like that. So
positive.
positives 3 on the left. Right. So I suppose the best thing we can do is going to
Check crucial.
yes. We'll have it in. Let's do continuity. So
BP mode. So we know
we want one of the first three and the fourth, or fourth to sixth.
fourth.
39. 13.79. Which to me is a bit low.
It's a bit,
For straight positive to negative rails,
yeah.
that is. You would expect kilo, if not mega ohms.
That's, yeah.
So there does seem to be a short on that board somewhere.
Now, I'm not sure if we can get this shield off easily or not.
Found another screw.
Take that one out, please. Oh, look.
It comes off.
Oh, there's a lot of
That will count. So let's just zoom the camera in. And then we'll focus out so we can all see what's going on.
not a lot on that side, but
I mean, the good, partially good thing is we know it's not the power supply.
surprisingly, it didn't pop the power supply.
Yeah. If it's a 13, I'm sure you'd expect it would.
So there's not really a lot on this side for us to look at. But again, it's all shielded, and there's not a lot to look at that side.
No. We'll have to get under the shielding.
Yeah, I don't know if it's soldered on or...
But let's take a quick recess. We'll be back in a minute. We're just going to do some research.
Right, well, I've had a little look quickly. Unfortunately, someone's been in this before. There's signs of flux residue left around over here,
And dump the
which
lights off of it.
seems to be, well, which is the ports.
Yeah, so that's the HDMI port, I believe. But HDMI mic USB's on the same thing. On that.
Yeah, but there's marks there someone's been playing.
Yes, which isn't a great start.
No, so I think because you know there's a short, I think we have to take the shield off.
Yes.
I shall see if I can prise it off. It's a good start. It's coming off. Honest government. Luckily they don't seem to have soldered it, which is very handy.
Yes.
Did I just hear some glue?
Probably thermal pads, isn't it?
I'll have to rely on you to let me know I'm still within you on the camera or not. Nearly there. Come on.
There we go.
There she goes. Shoots off.
Oh, it's very busy in there.
It's very, very busy in there, isn't it?
Yes. Unfortunately, with the way the board's done, you can't even really see the traces.
No.
As we know, the power comes in down here. Where it goes from there is anybody's guess.
But that schematic,
There's no one available. But I don't think a lot of people really repair these.
no, I don't think we're going to either. There's no...
Obvious signs.
Because the trouble is, because I know somebody's been in it,
Yeah.
it's like, I can see there's a component not there.
But is that supposed to
Not be there. Or is this the donor board that someone's used to prepare something out? One of others, and then
Yeah.
sold this on. Oh, this is faulty, and
I think the only thing we could do is I think there's another one on the other side. Another shield on the
yeah,
other side.
there was.
So we'll pop both shields and we can have a look, see what. Let me just adjust the camera. We'll adjust both sides, see what is what, and go from there. If we can't see anything obvious, it might just have to be used for parts if we get another one at some point.
That is the trouble with buying from
The bay.
eBay, yeah. Bit bent, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment.
If anyone that watches this has any information or anything we could test, just leave in the comments and we'll have a look. Otherwise, we can always revisit this later on. But if there's nothing obvious, without a board view or schematic for it, there's not really a lot we can do with it.
Well, this is going to get bent, but I don't care.
And this is where the main
Yeah.
A5 processor and all that is. Let's just. We'll give you a nice look because we're already inside it. There we go.
Here's mine.
But I'm not seeing anything really obvious.
No.
I mean, I know we could start probing and think about place to point. The issue is we don't know what any of the cap values are because
Yeah, so if we find a shorted one, then we don't know what values to replace it with.
And just for scale, so this area at the left side of your screen, there's a Q-tip. Where, that's...
And they call them Q-tips.
I know. Q-tip, cotton earbud, whatever you want to call it. Cotton bud.
Q-tip is the end of a snooker cue.
Yes. But it is tiny.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the components you can't even see on camera.
No.
Well, can't actually see with the naked eye, really, either.
No.
Some of them.
So,
certainly not enough to identify the values.
I'm going to have a quick look around the board, but also with the fact you can't see where the traces are either.
Yeah. We've got no logical path to follow.
And with us knowing there's a 13 ohm, there's only 13 ohms between the positive and negative rails, positive and ground. Well, should I say the 3.6 volt and ground. It ain't going to be easy to follow the 3.6 volts around the board because we could get beeps everywhere.
There's something we could try later, but we'd have to get something else to do it.
Yes.
Thermal camera.
Yeah.
If we put the power supply on, plug it in, because the power supply is not actually popping.
No, the power supply seems to be fully functional still.
Then we should be able to see something getting hot that shouldn't be getting hot.
Although we won't even need to use that.
Mind touching it.
No, if we can unsolder that lead from the power supply, we can then inject a much lower voltage from our power supply.
Unsoldering it's going to be tricky.
It's going to be tricky, but at least the power supply will be good still.
But we still need a thermal camera first.
Oh, we'll need a thermal camera first. There's not any further we can really go today.
But there's clear signs.
Yeah.
Someone's been in there. Even that pad's actually in the wrong place. Yes, we know you're still on.
We can turn you off. We don't need you.
That's absolutely for the naked eye.
Nothing. So, first video was a fail.
Yeah.
Although we have a good power supply, which, from what we've seen, seems to be quite rare. When these pop, it's normally the power supply that goes first. So, we might get another one at some point if you know, no one else knows anything we can test. And if we get the thermal camera and we still can't fix it, if we get on the faulty power supply, we have a good
Can I have
power
one of your
supply.
probes a sec?
You may have a probe.
Another demonstration on how bad things are.
Let me just get our focus
Focus.
done.
This is where the other thing is. Now, there's quite a few components within that area.
Yes. Here's the end of our very sharp probes.
They're bigger than most of the components.
Yeah.
I don't even think we're going to be able to probe it very well.
No.
I mean, this wouldn't be micro soldering if it was actually micro soldering.
Yeah. We wouldn't actually need to unsolder those bits. If we get the adapters where we can use these leads on my power supply,
Yeah.
we can just inject it, add the positive and negative,
And then
see what gets off.
see if something gets hot one side, turn it over, check the other side.
Mm.
I think we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to shelve this until we can have a thermal camera.
Yes.
Well, sorry guys, that must be a riveting video on how to take something apart. And
Well, we
Getting nowhere.
lost most of the footage of taking it apart.
well, that's all right because it was horrible anyway.
Yes. But yes,
I'm not even going to bother putting the shielding back on.
no, we'll keep it for parts or further
Investigation
investigation later on.
Well, that's from me to you.
Yeah, and we will see you next time.